Dan Illman, Mike Beer taking a look at race number 7 at Woodbine on Woodbine Oak Saturday. Let's throw up the field for the Grade 3 Bold Venture Stakes. 6.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. Pink Lloyd, sensational. He is 24 of 29 in his career. He's 4 to 5 on the morning line. I guess the Bold Venture's been a bit of a bugaboo for him throughout his career. Last year, he was held in the gate and was declared a non-starter, and he was beaten in this race beforehand, back in 2018, when he was 5th at even money. Can he win the Bold Venture, Mike?
I think he can. We'll see if maybe he has trouble in this race again this year, Dan. But you know, as an 8-year-old, this horse can still run. He's still really good. And you know, if he just holds his form, it just feels like he's better than these horses.
Now, he occasionally gets a little feisty coming out of the gate. As we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector, maybe that would be a little bit of an issue. This is a rare sprint, a graded stakes race with the gray bar. No speed whatsoever. White Flag's a pretty nice turf horse trying synthetic for the first time. As a matter of fact, the 2 horses to the outside, both trying synth for the first time, expected to make the lead. I think Pink Lloyd can make his own luck if he breaks.
Yeah, as long as he gets out of the gate, the way this race projects to set up, it just feels like he's not going to have a trip excuse. Let's just put it that way.
Roaring 50s won his most recent start, but that was way back in December. Let's watch that race right now. He showed good speed that day in this 2-turn event. He's able to shake clear at the 3/16 pole, and he's able to hold sway. Nice, solid 86 Beyer speed figure. Good way to finish off his 3-year-old campaign. I just wonder if this is a starting off point for the remainder of his campaign.
I wonder that too. You know, it's worth noting that in this race here, and he did run well in there, Dan, but he got away with a super slow pace in there. Once he made the lead, they just basically walked for the first half mile or 5 furlongs or so, and then he had plenty left in the stretch. I thought he ran well in there, but I do feel like maybe they're just giving him a race in this spot.
2 Malibu Secret back to his preferred synthetic surface after a solid 3rd in an allowance race last time out against some stakes quality runners. Let's watch that race right now. You'll note that the winner, Eskaminzen's in behind horses in the black hat, able to save some ground, while Malibu Secret in the red on the outside was wide. Malibu Secret comes with an even finish. He is better on synthetic, but when you look over his past performance lines, Pink Lloyd's had his number.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to try to find a way to turn the tables on that horse. I don't know if he can do it. He has, you know, in my opinion anyway, he has really improved, though, since he was claimed last September. Won 2 races in a row with improved figures, a second and a third to Pink Lloyd in a couple of stakes races. This horse, he's really improved for his new connections.
Olympic Runner is a possible upsetter, another horse getting back to synthetic where he's done good work, and he's been in against Silent Poet, who's been a red-hot horse in his last 2 races on the turf. This horse is lightly raced enough, Mike, that I still think we can project a bit of upside. He will have to improve, but I wouldn't be surprised if he kicks home late.
I wouldn't either. I like this horse. I think he does have potential. The projected pace that we saw earlier is not going to help this horse. He hasn't really shown that much speed in his recent races in particular. But his sprint races on synthetic towards the end of last year, they were all good.
Now let's watch Pink Lloyd's last race in the Shepperton, lugging the same 128-pound impost he will carry on Saturday. This is a public workout. He got a great trip. He's in the yellow. He was in behind horses turning for home, but once he eases out, he just breezes by these horses on the lead with no issue. He pops a 97 Beyer speed figure. His last 3 races, considering his age, considering how many times he's run, he can still fly. 100 Beyer, 96 Beyer, 97 Beyer. And, you know, again, I'm not saying anything anyone doesn't know. He's the horse to beat by far.
Yeah, by far. I mean, and especially, you know, when you watch the replay of that last race like we just did, facing some of these same horses, it's just hard to really want to take that big a stand against him, Dan. He won that race as he pleased. I mean, they didn't even have to ask him to do it. He just basically did it all on his own. Another effort like that, and they're going to have their hands full in here.
2 of the horses that he beat are up next. Dundrum, the 5, Magical Man, the 6. We saw Dundrum. He was part of the pace. Pink Lloyd just breezed by him. It was a much improved performance, but he's going to have to do better. And as for Magical Man, I think he can do a little bit better. That was his first race since November. He was sort of hung outside. He's run a couple of decent races in the past. I wonder if maybe Magical Man at a big price can spice up your single race exotics.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think he could. I actually sort of felt kind of the same way about Dundrum. I mean, I realized that he was just no match for Pink Lloyd at 40-1 last time. But to me, the thing that that interested me about Dundrum, Dan, is that they've spent a lot of time trying to go longer distances with him, mostly through 2019. All they did is try to go longer with this horse. I think he's way better sprinting.
And I think there's a good chance that he could end up on the lead in here. I know Timeform US says Smart Remark and White Flag on the lead. Smart Remark really hasn't shown much speed in a long time. Christophe Clement trained horses like to rate from off the pace. I find it hard to imagine that White Flag is going to be on ascend. Maybe Dundrum could control a moderate pace at a nice price this time around. As for Smart Remark, he was in a tough turf sprint last time out. The Wolf Hill, American Sailor, and Checky Shabazz came back to run 1-2 via disqualification in the Troy, the former earning a 94 buyer speed figure. I just seem like we've talked about Smart Remark forever. He's a nice, solid horse trying synthetic for the first time. Just doesn't win very often.
He doesn't. It's amazing. I guess when you look at his PPs too, Dan, you really realize how little pace there is in this race, because they have this horse being up there on the lead, doesn't even have any speed.
Let's talk about White Flag, and he's dropping out of the Jaipur. Now, the Jaipur hasn't come back that strong, but it was a good, solid Grade 1 race at Belmont, and it was White Flag's first race off of a long layoff. He's done some good work shipping up to Woodbine in the past, placing in a couple of graded stakes races. He certainly fits with a horse like Pink Lloyd from a class standpoint. Perhaps not the most prolific winner in the world, but I think he's going to handle the synthetic just fine. He's got enough pedigree for it, enough tactical speed. A lot of folks will believe he's the most likely alternative to the chalk.
Yeah, I guess I can see looking at the race that way. We've talked about him a lot in the past, and I'm not a big fan of his. Maybe the switch to synthetic will work for him, but he feels like the kind of horse who will be a clear-cut second choice, and I don't want a short price on this horse.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Grade 3 Bold Venture Stakes. He looks like the horse to beat. He's also a horse you could root for. Pink Lloyd, Canada's horse, will be our top selection. I went 4, 8, 5, and 3. You're going to try to get this 3-horse Olympic runner into the number. Might be up against it from a pace standpoint. He'll be firing late.
Yeah, I liked his upside more than anything else, so I could use him underneath. And I'll also use Dundrum. I think he could make the lead in here, and I think he's better sprinting.
Pink Lloyd goes for his 25th lifetime victory in Saturday's Grade 3 Bold Venture. Race 7 at Woodbine has an approximate post of 4:14 Eastern. Good luck.